I am from sunny Los Angeles, and this man right here makes me wish that I was sitting in a log cabin in Vermont in the dead of winter. That's right, I'm talking about Noah Kahan, the folk pop artist who I've been opting to listen to lately any chance I get. I wasn't expecting to be obsessed with Vermont's stick season while I'm going for runs on the beach in California, but here we are. So we have to talk about Noah Kahan. Noah Kahan has officially started up a rootsy indie rock revival after having already released albums dating back to 2019. One of the more special things about Noah, as I alluded to earlier, is his ability to identify the peculiarities of growing up in New England. He was born in Vermont on January 1st, 1997, and grew up on a 130-some acre property. He spent his formative years between there and New Hampshire with his 3 siblings and his parents. His dad taught him how to play guitar, and his mom taught him about writing. Noah grew up being inspired by artists like Paul Simon, Cat Stevens, James Taylor, and more. He started writing songs around the age of 8, and in high school, him and his friends started uploading music online. While being presented with the decision to either attend Tulane University or sign a record deal with Republic Records, Noah opted to sign a record deal with his parents' support. He then went on to migrate between coasts and started writing music and marinating in the music industry as a songwriter. By the age of 20, his viral single Young Blood pushed his career forward. He went on to record his debut album Busy Head, which was produced by Joel Little, who also produced for Taylor Swift. At this point in his career, his sound is very much emulating that of Ed Sheeran and James Bay. When the pandemic rolled around, he actually holed up in his friend's house and wrote a 5-track EP titled Cape Elizabeth. It was also the time when Noah realized he needed to reconnect with his roots after being gone for so long. He returned to LA and was still very much in a pop headspace, especially when he was working on his sophomore album, but he wasn't quite satisfied with this sound. He was feeling uninspired and a bit homesick, and he started writing some folky songs to make himself feel closer to home. By this point, he had been toying around with TikTok a bunch, and he wrote a verse and uploaded it to TikTok with the intentions of deleting it very soon after, but then just kind of forgot. By the next day, the verse that he had uploaded had started blowing up on TikTok. He took this as an opportunity to continue building out the song, and it continued to drive people online crazy, so he just decided to run with it. That song was Stick Season, and it was officially released in July of 2022. I'm sure he's tired of talking about it so much in interviews, but everybody always asks him, what is Stick Season? What is it about? And it's basically this time in Vermont when all of the leaves have fallen off the trees and the ground is completely frozen. It's this awkward time between the fall and the winter where it's not quite snowing yet. And being from Southern California, this kind of sounds like a nightmare out of context, but Noah makes it sound really magical. He is an incredibly talented songwriter, and he injects imagery and storytelling into his tracks that can make anybody, no matter where they're from, feel connected to this place. And I can also understand how special this makes the people from New England feel. Noah himself has described Stick Season as a folk pop song that found itself in Lumineers territory. I really do think that a huge part of the reaction that people had to this song was mostly nostalgia driven, because it feels like it's been years since we've all got to collectively sing along together to a Mumford & Sons style stomp clap hey sing along. But another major thing that gets people to resonate with Noah is the fact that he is so open about his emotions and his mental health. And now that he's got a big enough platform, he's able to channel that energy through the Busy Head project, which helps marginalized communities get aid for mental health services. The way that I actually got introduced to Noah's music was through Olivia Rodrigo when she did the cover of Stick Season during her BBC Radio 1 live set, which I also saw on TikTok. And I know that I may have been a little bit late to the party here, because if that was my introduction, there was so much years worth of music already available. I am just happy that I made it in the first place. Like I said, Noah is a great songwriter. Even Olivia Rodrigo herself, plus so many others, have praised him for being one of the best songwriters of our time right now. And it's also been really great to listen to him collaborate with other artists like Hozier, Post Malone, Casey Musgraves, Gracie Abrams, and so many other people. It's very nice, and I doubt he will stop there. And now Noah is officially stepping into the spotlight. You may have seen him recently nominated for Best New Artist at the 2024 Grammys. I personally will never forget how happy I was for him to see him react to his Grammy nomination, and I felt the same when I saw him perform on SNL and saw him on the Time 100 Next list. So in essence, Noah being present has ushered in a whole wave of a folk revival that I think has really also just been driven by nostalgia. And I'm also really excited for the younger generation who is for the first time discovering this type of music. So the good news is that people who have historically been nominated for Best New Artist tend to stick around for a really long time, and they tend to generate amazing work. So without applying any pressure to him, I very much look forward to seeing his career blossom, and I'm gonna try my best to try to catch him in LA at the Hollywood Bowl when he comes here in June. Like always, let me know your favorite Noah Kahan songs in the comments, and be sure to follow for more artist deep dives.